Ever been listening to your favorite podcast and think, hey, I want to start my own? Then you need Anchor. It's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First, everyone's favorite word, free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can even make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hello, my beautiful people, and welcome back to the Bibliophile Hour. I am your host / cousin, Erica the Bibliophile, and we are here for day 20 of Read a Book, Record a Podcast. 11 more days, and I will have recorded and released a podcast for every day for the month of January. I'm so excited. I'm so proud of myself. Anyway, we are here for part 2 of His Gangsta Love Saved Me by Londyn Lenz. Let's get into it. So for a little recap from the last story, Play has popped back up from somewhere and Storm ran in the house and called the police. And, they're trying to calm her down and get some information. But Play is banging on the door telling her, I'm not the same person I was. I just want you to listen to me. And Storm gives the 911 operator his name and says, I have a restraining order against him. He's not supposed to be here. And he used to attack me. And I just know he's here to kill me. But he's still screaming, I swear to God, I'm not here to hurt you. I just want to see my daughter. And so they're like, there's children on the premises. So, of course, that's going to make them move a little faster. And then we hear, sir, we need you to step away from the door. So the police made it. And she tells them as well, I have a restraining order. And they're like, okay, but where is the little girl? She's like, she's still asleep. He didn't harm me or her. He didn't even get to see her. I just don't know how he found me. He shouldn't know where I am. And he's violating, the police officer tells her, he's violating the restraining order or the regulations of the restraining order. So he will have to go to court. And, right now he's going to jail. So you should feel a little better that he's going to be locked up for the next few days. And then Aboya pulls up and, she starts going off like he needs to be locked up. He shouldn't even be here. And she apologizes for not being there. But she's like, it's okay. It just all happened so fast. And she's running down the store because they've taken Play away. So now they're in the house. And she tells her, Damon came over. And this makes Aboya smile because she's thinking like they finally gonna stop playing with each other. But it's like, pump your brakes. It's not even what you think. He came over to end our little arrangement. He said it's not fair to Storm or his wife. So, they shouldn't be together. And then Canton calls and Aboya tells her, let me tell Canton about Play and they can make that nigga disappear and it can all be over. And Storm isn't with that. She's like, no, I can handle it. I don't want to get Canton involved because then he's going to get Damon involved. And that part is over. I just want to do it all on my own. So Aboya answers the phone and she's about to cancel their plans, but Storm tells her, no, go on your date. I'll be fine. They got him behind bars, so I'll be okay. But when Aboya leaves and, it's just her and Rain again, all she can hear is Play yelling over and over that he wasn't the same person. He claims to be different and only wants to be in Rain's life. But she doesn't know if any of that's true. It's just like, yeah, that sounds good, but the last time I saw you, you hit me in my face. And all she knows is the monster that she ran away from. Like I said, like the last time I saw you, you punched me in my face and you left. So what? These are just words. I wouldn't let him nowhere near my child either. It's just like, that makes no sense. You're an abuser. Even if you claim you're not going to hurt her. How do I know that? I don't know that. And you haven't shown anything different. I don't care what your mouth says. And so before she goes to bed, her phone is ringing. And it's Damon, but she doesn't answer because it's just like, you just broke things off with me. Why are you calling me? Play, aka Parker, his real name is Parker. He's telling his backstory, and it's just like, he's just like Zoe. Like, these are terrible people. And he's like, before you think I had a sad sob story, let me stop you right there. My life was great. And that was his problem. His life was so quote unquote perfect that he created chaos and drama just to have some fun. And it's just like, so you became abusive on purpose just because your life was that great. Oh, boo-hoo, poor you. Like, are you serious? What people would kill for and wish they had, you were just so bored. And that's the age-old story. I can't even get my words out because it's just like, people always wish for what they don't have, and it just drives me insane. How is your life that good that you basically destroy it because you're bored? And he admits that when Storm left, he didn't even care. He moved in another woman, like almost as if she never existed. And you knew she was pregnant when she left. So if you so-called wanted your child, why didn't you go after her, try to find her then? You've been missing for almost 2 years. Where you been at? But anyway, this other woman that he moved in, he abused her too. And he almost killed her. So he had to serve 4 months in prison, which I don't understand. You should have been charged with attempted murder, and you only got 4 months in prison? Oh, because she dropped the charges. And it's like, sis, why? Like, I could get you wanting to put things behind you, but that would have been putting it behind you. Like, never having to see him again. He almost killed you. But, you know, some people are better than others, because ain't no way. But when he got out of jail, that's when he vows to change his life. So he went to therapy. He started working again and, you know, just basically working on himself. So he is now a different and better person. And he's ready to be a father to his daughter. Ever since Damon broke off things with Storm and she won't return any of his calls, he's been in a terrible mood, snapping on everybody, and nobody really wants to deal with him. And so Miss Dora tries to find out what's going on. And, you know, he says, I just need y'all to tell me what's going on with my business. Ain't nobody said nothing. And she's just looking at him like, when did this happen? And he's like, what? And she's like, I can tell that the little fiery redhead got you like all up in your feelings. And he says, no, I just had to fall back because, and she cuts him off and says, your loyalty, but you're loyal to the wrong person. And I know you want to make things work with your wife, but she's not a loyal person. Like, you're being loyal to the wrong one. And Miss Dora ain't the first one to say that, but I think he's just trying to prove to himself that he wasn't tricked. And I think that's why he's still holding on. But he also faults himself. He's like, I think I let us get too disconnected outside of the bedroom, because that seems to be the only place where they meet up at. They don't hold any of the same interests, and anything he tries to get her involved with, she doesn't want to do. She just wants to shop and look pretty and then be rude to people. I'm like, how can you do that every day? You get up, go out to eat, and then you go shopping, then you come back home. So it's like, you so concerned about last season and this season's wardrobe being mixed up in your closet, but where are you even going to wear these clothes? To the same shops that you were just in yesterday? And look, being rich, I guess that ain't gonna never be my thing, because that shit literally makes no sense to me. You go shopping every day to the same stores, looking at the same shit you saw yesterday. And then, anyway. And, since he's been introduced to Storm in the time that they were spending together on the weekend, he realizes he wants more, and that he just let his marriage be what it was. Basically, his wife being a on-call girl. It's just like whenever he wanted sex, she was right there, because there's nothing else between them, like I said. And so he's trying to fight it. He doesn't want But he doesn't want his wife anymore. He wants Storm because he vibes better with Storm. And it's not even just about her being someone new. It's like someone that's showing me something. Like I can laugh and joke with my partner. We could talk about shit instead of me laying next to this person who wears headphones to bed and doesn't want to do anything that I want to do. She just spends my money. And I see that she is a spoiled brat and has a funky ass attitude. And, you know, he, like I said, he's upset that he calls her, and she refuses to answer, but she still hasn't blocked him yet. So he's looking at that as a good sign. And so he's going for a drive in his car, and he sees Zoe's mom, tongue twister, coming out of a house down a block. And there's nothing wrong with the houses, but they would be considered in a poor neighborhood coming from Zoe's family. And I'm still trying to understand, because like in the first book said, they're not from billions of dollars and all this money, but their attitude is like they're so much better than people. And I don't understand how. Like, I understand fake bougie, but it's like they are taking this to a whole nother level of how they think they're so much better than people. But anyway, so once he sees the mom leaves, he drives up to the house and takes a picture of the house and the car in the driveway. And he just plans on keeping an eye on what she's doing. So when he goes home to Zoe, she's getting a massage and laying on her stomach. And he's like, should you be doing that while you're pregnant? And he's just starting to notice more and more her attitude and her selfish ways. And she tries to call him Damon, and he says, did I tell you could call me Damon? Because, you know, she's supposed to call him King at all time because of their dom-sub lifestyle. And she says, oh, but that's okay when Storm calls you by your name. Since I told you to end things with her, you know, where have you been? Physically, you're here. But emotionally and mentally, you are nowhere near here. Zoe goes to her parents' home and tells her dad, you know, I have a problem. I think I'm losing Damon. He's so distant and I don't know how to fix it. And her dad just flats out tells her, you know, like, did you think that lying about being pregnant would help? And she's shocked because she didn't think he knew. But he's like, of course your mother told me. And, you know, like, what were you thinking? The Hayes family is the way we eat well. You lucked up and married into the family, and you do this. I'm so disappointed with you. You signed a prenup and put your marriage in jeopardy. Luckily, you were able to clean it up only to turn around and tell Damon that you're pregnant when you know you're not. So enlighten me on how you figured you can fix this. And she plans on hiring Olivia to do the same thing she did last time. And her dad is like, please stop talking. Please just stop talking. Even if she does fix it so that you are pregnant at the doctor's appointment, guess what? You're still not pregnant. So what are you going to do? And it's like, don't you see how excited Damon is? He will ask the doctor questions. When he gets you pregnant for real, you will be so far off from the dates and times you're, like, how far along you're supposed to be. What are you going to do then? How do you dig yourself out of this mess that you have created? And he tells her, you know, there's only one way to fix this mess. And she says, no, I can't put us through that again. And, you know, he tells her, so you think you can tell Damon that you're 8 weeks pregnant, get pregnant for real, and have him think that the doctor was wrong by 2 months? You need to talk to Olivia and have her handle this just like last time. And this is what happened. When she got pregnant the first time, she had Olivia pretend that she couldn't find a heartbeat. So she was still pregnant at the time, but she had her pretend that she couldn't find a heartbeat. So Damon believed that the baby was already dead. And she had to pay her to put on the ultrasound screen the inside of an unpregnant woman's belly. And she wrote her a prescription for some abortion pills, which Damon just thought were painkillers. And further along At first, she wanted to be pregnant. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words. But then the further along she got, she just couldn't go through with it. She didn't want to be pregnant. She was literally just doing it for her husband, but she didn't want it. So a week later at this doctor's appointment, she's just pretending to be the excited wife. And while they're talking to the doctor, Damon rubs his hand across her stomach, and her being the bitch that she is, she's like, this is a silk blouse that you're wrinkling. And he's looking at her like, are you serious? And then he says it out loud, like, you're worried about a blouse? That's your concern? So anyway, Olivia comes in and she puts like that cold stuff on pregnant women's bellies and turns on the ultrasound machine. And then you hear a heartbeat, which is just like, how do y'all do this? Because this bitch ain't pregnant. But, you hear a heartbeat, and Damon is just so excited. He's smiling and grinning like, that's my son in there. And they just wrap up the appointment like a regular old appointment. And while they're in the car, she's on her phone, and Damon tells her, put the phone up and enjoy some time with your husband. And she has to play it off because, since he found her burner phone, she can't be seeming like she doing anything shady. But she was trying to text Olivia that her sister would be coming with her payment later on that week. And Olivia knows that Zoe needs her, so she has upped her price. And so far, Zoe claims to think that she has it under control. The judge ordered Play to stay away from Storm and Rain after he was served 30 days. So Storm now has a job interview at a law firm because, of course, she quit the escort service. And she recently had a date. So, even though she's down about things ending with Damon, she's trying to pick it up and move along. And Storm says, so I see you doing play dates and stuff because Cameron is over and they're in Rain's room, playing. And Aboya says, she really likes the baby. She likes Canton, but she's scared. Cameron makes her feel like she's ready to be a mother, and she's sad about her abortion that she got. And then Aboya tells Storm, me and Canton want y'all to stop playing, meaning her and Damon. And she says, that is over and I am never opening that door again. Which is why you call his name in your sleep, right? And it's just like, damn, bitch, you gotta bust me out like that? Like, I said it's over. Back me up. It's over. But no, she admits I long for him. Like, I can feel him near me, touching me and talking to me. I just need to keep living my life. And I'm sure with time, I'll get over him. Bitch. And then Aboya tells her, so you're going to go with me to the pajama party, right? That the escort service is throwing. And she's like, girl, no, did you not hear nothing I just said? I'm trying to get over him and you just want me to be right back up in his face. But she says, no, for real, it's an old school pajama party. And I'm going to get you dolled up. And you going to make Damon regret, breaking up with you in so many words. And she's like, you're going. So don't make any plans for Friday. And I'm going to have it all set up. So, girl, make that nigga want to. Aboya tells Canton that she loves him, and he tells her, I love you too. Don't make me kill your ass or kill for you because you want to test my gangsta. So, their little relationship is moving along swell. The next morning, little baby Cam runs into the kitchen, screaming good morning. And he bends down to pick her up, and she, flies right by that nigga straight into Aboya's arms. She just loves her some Aboya. And while they're getting ready to drop little Cam off at camp, a car pulls into his driveway. And it's just like, he doesn't know who it is. But out walks, how did I pronounce this? Akaya? Or Kylie? It's Akhalia. Akila. I think that's what I was going with. Akila. So he tells Aboya and Cam to go get into the car, and he walks over to Akaya and says, what are you doing here? And she's like, I wanted to see you and her. Please, I miss y'all. And it's like, girl, if you don't get the fuck away from my house, you've been gone for 5 years. What is you talking about? You don't miss nobody. If you don't get away from my house, like no communication. And now my little girl is asking questions about her trifling ass mama. More and more the older she gets. You partied out and now you think you just gonna slide your way back in? Like, girl, get away. And she says, Canton, I'm her mother. No, she has a mother. Now get the fuck out of here. And, oh, I forgot to mention, like, while they were in the kitchen, Cam asked Aboya to go to a mommy-daughter pajama party that they're having. And she called Aboya mommy. And Canton was going to correct her, but she, basically cut him off. And then when they were alone, she's like, she's a kid, and I understand. Like, if you don't want her to call me that, that's cool. But, don't crush your feelings. Like, I'm okay with it. So that's where the statement come from when he tells Akila that she has a mom. I'm going to just start calling her AK because I can't. And so when he gets in the car, Aboya tells him, I put her headphones on. She didn't hear anything. And, he's just looking so, like, he's shocked. He don't know what to do. And when he's talking to Damon about it, Damon told him, you should have shot that bitch in her toe. And like I said, he was shocked. And Damon offers, we can handle her. Ain't no problem. I'm in need of some stress anyway, so I'm ready to saw some shit up. And it's just like, what's wrong with you? Canton is thinking it's Zoe, but he's like, no, it's Storm. I keep eyes on her, and I got word that she went on a date. So Storm can't date while you laying next to your wife? Like, what type of stuff is this? And so after they get some work done, Canton is alone on his balcony just smoking, trying to get his mind right after AK just popped up. And, he hasn't seen or talked to her since Cameron was 6 months old. So it's just like, you decided to go out and party, and now you just feel like you can walk back in here. Like, girl, I don't think so. But he wants to talk to her to see what's going on. AK claims the reason why she left is because, first of all, she wasn't done living the turn-up lifestyle, and she is afraid, or was afraid, that she wouldn't have a nurturing personality to give her daughter. She didn't get that from her parents. Her parents were both 14 when she was born. So, she was basically passed off to her grandparents while her parents still partied. And it's just like, you're afraid you weren't going to give that to her. That's exactly what you did. I don't get... Whatever. She's described as a red bone who has the body of any famous IG model. And, she just wasn't ready to give up the lifestyle. So when she had Cameron, she didn't think she could do it right away. She never wanted Cameron to feel neglected, but looking at her and holding her made her realize she could no longer do what she wanted. She had to be cautious of what she did, who she hung out with, how she carried herself, and staying out late and jumping on a plane to go any and everywhere she wanted would have to stop. And she wasn't ready, so she left. And she claims to love Cameron and Canton, but it's just like, okay, you may have your version of love for them, but you also up and left them. And her reason for not contacting either one of them in the last 5 years is there was no point and she had no intention of returning. So it's like, what's your intentions now? Like, what's the purpose? And she's thinking about who the woman is that Cameron is calling mommy and feeling as if she's going to have to kill her to get her out of the way because she's ready to return home. So Detroit is her home, and she's staying in a hotel, but she just came back from a month of being in Atlantic City. Her best friend is none other than Mona, Zoe's sister, and Canton's former sex partner. And, she's moping in the hotel, and Mona tells her, well, you lose them how you get them. And their story is Mona had Canton first. But then I guess he saw AK and fell for her, like, in a relationship type of way. So, and I'm just like, even if he did like you more, I just don't see how you could do that. It's like if your friend was sleeping with him first and she tells you that she has, some type of feelings for him, I don't see how you could screw your friend over. But that is the type of relationship that they have. They sleep with each other's man's playthings, like whatever they are. I don't see how you can go behind your friend. I'm never fucking behind my friends. Never. But that's their relationship. They claim to love each other, and that just is what it is. She gets a text from Canton saying for the sake of their daughter, they can meet and talk. But if he finds out she on some bullshit, it's a wrap for her. And he's like, please don't make me regret giving you this chance. And this has her feeling herself because she believes that she's still a soft spot for him. And she's just going to pick up where they left off. And this is the start to that. And it's like, girl, how do you get that? When he first saw you, he cussed you out. And he said for the sake of y'all daughter. But okay, never mind. I could see it. I could see exactly what she's saying. So anyway, Storm goes to her interview. And I'm mentioning this because it's funny. Like when she first gets there and tells the receptionist that she's there for the interview, the lady just looks at her and she's like, is there a problem? Am I in the wrong building? And the lady tells her, oh no, I didn't know Mrs. Frails was hiring outside of the company. I mean, I applied for the position first. I've been here for 3 years. So? And why are you telling this to somebody that you don't know? Like, she's supposed to do something about it. She's the one that's there for the interview. You take that up with Mrs. Frails. And I don't give a damn how long you've been here. And Storm tells her, like, that's not my problem. Can you tell me where I'm supposed to go or what I'm supposed to do next for my interview? But during the interview, she's really just talking, basically trying to sell herself. But Mrs. Frails tells her, the job is already yours. I just needed to meet you and talk to you for a little bit. But the job pays $17 an hour plus overtime, and she gets PTO, and she'll be out of there no later than 6 o'clock every day. So, it was basically a done deal. She just had to show up. So when she leaves, Damon is one of the first people she thinks to call, but of course she doesn't. It's just like, she has some good news in her life, and he is one of the people that she wanted to share it with, but she can't. So Aboya has been spending more time at home, and Storm notices and asks if everything is okay. And she says, like, girl, I don't know what's going on. And she gives her the rundown of AK showing up, and now he's either too busy for Aboya or he's just short. But she still talks to Cameron all the time, and she's scared because she doesn't want to lose them. And this could be a repeat of the Raymond situation. So Storm reassures her, everything is fine. And you just got to talk to Canton about it. It's not the same situation. Storm gets a letter, and this is what it reads. Storm, please read this letter with an open heart that I know you have. I understand the risk that I am facing with me contacting you, but I just had to. I need you to know that I am a different person than I was when we were together. My life has dramatically changed. My whole life has changed since you came in. Oop, wrong time. My bad. Now I lost my place. Changed in a good way, and I just need the opportunity to talk to you. Please, Storm. I know the pain I inflicted on you, but the truth still is we made our daughter together. We made her, and she deserves to know her father. I just want the chance to tell you and show you that I am a changed man. Also, I am sorry if I frightened you when I showed up. I just didn't know another way to ease into your life. Please, please, please give me a chance to talk to you. Play. I would have took that letter right back down to the court and said, look, he's contacting me and he's not supposed to. Like, what am I supposed to do to get him to stop? Because it's just like, you shouldn't even know where I live, but now you that comfortable to write letters? But she just basically hides the letter away and doesn't even say anything about it. It's just like, girl, I don't get this. Anyway, it's the night of the pajama party, and Aboya and Storm walk in looking fly. And as they're walking by, someone says, I swear to God, no matter how many times the trash is taken out, it seems to keep finding its way back. And it's Mona making a little slick comment about Aboya. And she just says, you must be big mad that I cut off your dick supply. Girl, get out of here. And she says, I'm not even your biggest concern. I hope he's worth it. But they don't know that she knows AK. But anyway, they pay her no mind. And Aboya walks right up to Canton and lays a big old nasty kiss on him in front of everyone. And of course, he returns the favor and they all hugged up. And Storm, she stayed back, but she's cheering her friend on. And when she sees Damon, she's giving him the googly eyes. But that's until, the crowd moves a little bit more. And she can see that Zoe is right on his arm. And Damon, while they were kissing, he says, baby sis had to let everybody know what's up. And she says, I had to let them know I got tested on my road today, but I'm making sure they got the picture now. And so he's like, who said something to you? Your wife's sister. Don't even worry about it, though. I made my statement. So he signals for one of his security guards and tells them to kick Mona out. Zoe tries to say something, but he just looks at her and tells her to put her head down, which she does. And Aboya gags. She's just like, what? And he asks, where your girl at? And she doesn't know if she should answer, but she doesn't have to because the crowd moves, I guess, even more out of the way. And he sees her standing by herself. Aboya tells him she misses you. And with that, he goes over to talk to her. He's like, so you'll come to my party, but you won't speak to me? And she says, you were busy and I didn't want to overstep. So he makes her turn around to speak to him. And he's like, I don't care who I'm talking to. You always make sure that you come and speak to me. A little birdie told me you miss me. Is that true? You look good, but you already know that. How's my rainy girl doing? I would know if you would answer your phone. And it's just like, nigga, why would I answer my phone for you? I don't want to talk to you. You said it was over, so let it be over. And that's basically what she said. She's like, I just felt it was best if we kept our distance. But, he's still asking questions like, how the job search going? Even though he's the one that got her the job. But he's not going to tell her that because then she wouldn't take the job. She's trying to be independent. And he's going to make it seem like it's so. And he tells her, put your hands on me. He takes her hand and puts it on his chest. And they're just having a moment right there in the middle of the floor. But it's broken when someone calls his name. So Zoe walked up talking about we're hungry. And she's rubbing her flat ass stomach. And then acts as if she didn't see Storm standing right there. Oh, hey, Storm. We miss having you around the house on the weekends. But you know how it is when the unexpected happens. Well, in our case, the expected. I will be sure to invite you to the baby shower. Won't we, Damon? And then she like puts her hand on Damon and gives a fake smile. And they both just looking at her like, bitch, didn't nobody tell you to come over here? And Storm says, how far along are you? 4 or 5 months? And then she walks away. You would just let her be rude to me. Didn't nobody tell your ass to come over here trying to stake claim? Go sit down somewhere. So the party is, in full effect. And I just wanted to mention this because I thought it was so funny. This is in Damon's point of view, but he said, this party was more me and Canton's speed. Nothing was wrong with the black and tie and the balls that we have, but this was our shit. Nigga shit, I like to call it. Good ass soul food, good music, and beautiful women. And it's like, who doesn't love a party like that? Good food, good drink, good music, and fine women to look at. I'm there. Like, anyway. So Canton comes over to Damon's section and says, I need you to be easy and remember we have an image to uphold. So don't fuck up our own party. And he's like, man, what are you talking about? But Canton gets out of the way to show him that there's a guy talking to Storm. And this fool, like, basically turns into a demon in the face. And he tells him, if you take your ass over there tripping about another woman, you will stress Zoe out and you're putting your kid at risk. So you need to chill out. He sees Storm go to the bathroom and he follows her like, who is that in your face? She's like, you watching me now? Shouldn't you be pregnant? Focus on your pregnant wife, if I can talk tonight. And he's like, man, I don't care about all that. I said, who was in your face? You think you about to talk to somebody else in my presence? It's like, is anybody home? Sir, you have a wife who is pregnant. How you all up on me? But anyway, they leave the party together. Because, he like, I'm not trying to hear none of that. You belong to me. And he takes her to the mansion behind this place that they also own. That is the quote-unquote pleasure part of the pleasure palace. Anyway, him and Storm have sex. And he tells her, you belong to me. And I'm working on coming for you. Just trust me. I'm cleaning house. So Storm tells Aboya about what happened last night. And then she says, so off of me, what's up with you and Canton? He called me to get to you. Why are you avoiding him? And she just knows that there's something going on between him and AK. And she's not about to deal with it. And ever since AK popped up, he's just been acting weird. So she's about to back off. And then plus, she's pregnant. And so Storm is like, so when are you going to tell him? And she's like, I'm waiting on the right time. But anyway, they have to prepare for Rain's birthday that's coming up. And while they're talking about plans, the doorbell rings. And they think that it's Aboya's mom to come over to talk about birthday plans as well. But whoever it is keeps ringing the doorbell. And when she opens it, it's Canton and Damon. Canton tells her, you better be lucky you came to the door when you did, because I was going to take your tires again. And she's like, what are you doing here? Like, what you mean? I'm here to see my woman. Not you. Damon, like, what are you doing here? He's like, come on now. You know why I'm here. Where's she at? And Rain comes out and he picks her up and kisses her on the cheek. And it's just so cute. And Rain asks where Cameron is. And Canton tells her, I'll bring her over later today. And he gives her $100 bill. Storm snatches it back like she does not need this money. And every time you see her, stop giving her money. But that's just something that they do because they're so obviously rich. Why wouldn't you want to give a toddler $100 bill that she can just rip up and do whatever she wants to with? And Damon and Storm go to the back, and this gives Canton and Aboya a chance to talk. And he's like, why are you acting brand new? What's up with you? And she's like, I'm not the one that's acting different. Ever since your baby mama popped up, your behavior has been different. I understand the history and that she is Cameron's mama, but I'm not about to sit back and be played while y'all play family. And he says, I would never do anything to you like your last nigga did. Don't compare me to him, and this ain't the same situation. I'm not going to do that. I was messed up because she popped up out of nowhere after 5 years just saying she made a mistake. But I apologize for acting distant. And so Aboya wants to know, has she reached out in any way? I know women, and she's going to want her family back. And the thought of losing them, is just devastating to her, especially when they're growing so close. You know what I mean? Like, Cameron done called her mommy, and they just have a close bond, and she has told Canton that she loves him. It's just like, damn, don't let me finally get part of what I want for it to be snatched away from me again. And he tells her, I don't need you trying to split us up because you're scared. Excuse me. So they get back to talking about the birthday party, and of course these rich men are like, man, that's too basic. Damon says he has an idea that he's going to put in motion, so just leave everything up to him. And Canton asks her to babysit because he wants one-on-one time with Aboya. And Damon tells him, yeah, sure, bring my niece over. We'll be here tonight. And Storm and Aboya is like, what you gonna be doing over here? You got a whole wife at home. What you talking about? He's like, man, like I said. And Canton whispers in Aboya, like, I'll tell you later. And Damon doesn't want to be married anymore. He's making it known that he's trying to find the right way to tell her without putting the baby at risk. So it's just like, I want my baby, but I don't want her, which is perfectly fine. Aboya asks Canton if he wants any more kids, and his response is only if they're by her. Canton has met up with AK just to hear what she has to say, and he also let her see Cameron, but not as her mother. She is going by Amanda, and they're telling Cameron that she's the new nanny while Minna takes a few days off. And, they just get to talking, but Cameron doesn't really like her. Like, she'll speak to her, but she's not really feeling her. And Damon asks him, what are you doing? AK left without blinking. My niece is almost 5. That's 5 years her own mama didn't have contact with her. Why the hell that bitch gets to decide if she wants to be a parent? Where they do that at? If you want to keep shit a buck, I would have sliced her ass up when she played popcorn and popped up at my house. And Canton's feelings is he just wants to give his daughter the best. I don't want to deprive her of anything because of my feelings. And Damon tells him, you gave Cameron the best when you gave her Aboya. You need to let AK go and let her go back to doing her thought behavior. And don't fuck shit up with your woman. Cameron asks Aboya what a lesbian is, and Canton almost has a conniption, but one of the girls in her class has 2 mommies, and she overheard the other mommies at the school say she's a big lesbian, and another one called her a big old carpet muncher. So Aboya tells her, that's a word that adults use. A 4-year-old has no business knowing about, which I don't agree with. But Cameron asks, well, am I a lesbian? And it's so cute because it's just like, no, she doesn't know what that word is, but I don't know. I just find it cute. I can't explain it, but it's just like, no, honey, you're not a lesbian. But when you get older, just know that me and your dad love you no matter what. And she says, well, I don't want to be a lesbian anyway. I'm too busy being in a relationship. And, while Aboya is laughing this off, Canton is getting really upset. He's like, you got a boyfriend. Who is your boyfriend? And it's another little boy in her class. He told her, I want a wife like my daddy has, so you're my girlfriend. And Aboya tells her, just have him as a friend. Tell him you're not ready to be a wife. But I love him. Like you love daddy. I get a Twinkie every day from him. And I get some apple juice. He gives me things like daddy gives you things. Tell that nigga you got your own damn Twinkies, Cameron. You don't need him for nothing. And it's just like... Dads are hilarious. I'm sorry, but this man is really mad. Like, they are 5 years old. Like, this ain't legit. What you getting mad for? And but a boy tells her, the next time he gives you a Twinkie, just tell him no, thank you. We are just friends. You don't want to be taking Twinkies just because he gives them to you. So it's time for another visit with AK and Cameron. But before she goes to see her, she asks Canton, when will I be able to tell? And he's like, let me stop you right there. Not until I feel comfortable. So don't call yourself trying to be slick and tell her no information. So right now, you are just the nanny. And you think you slick, but I got eyes on you. The only time you act like you want to be a mother is when you come here. I know all about you staying in that hotel. I know all about you hooking up with Mona again. It's just like, girl, you are not slick. I know this whole state. You don't want to be a mother. You just want the life. You want sex with me. You want money. And then you want to be a part-time mother when you feel like it. And her response to that is, rather I be a full-time or a part-time, I came back, right? And it's just like, girl, are you crazy? My daughter doesn't deserve a part-time mother. But he still lets her visit, which I don't understand. Because as soon as she said that, I'm like, we done. You're not welcome here anymore. You cannot see her. You can't tell her nothing. We're done. But no, like I said, he tells her, look, get your visit in and get out. So when she goes to see Cameron, she's like, hey, how you doing? Cameron's like, I'm packing. Duh. Like for my sleepover, my mommy is taking me. And so she's upset about the fact that Canton is allowing Cameron to call Aboya mommy or mom. So she goes all around the house taking pictures to put them up on Facebook. And then she requests Aboya as a friend. And so, she knows that's going to get to Aboya in a way. Play is having sex with Mona. And he's also stalking Storm. He approaches her at her job. And, once again, he wants to apologize, saying that he just wants to be a father to Rain. And Storm tells him, six hospital visits, so many stitches, bandages. You even put me on crutches for 2 weeks. I can't even count the slaps, busted lips, and black eyes. I stayed being weak and you preyed on that weakness. A person like that doesn't change. I don't care how much you say you have. And he swears that he's had countless amounts of counseling, anger management classes, and even medication to even out his moods. It's a mental health problem. I don't care. You hurt me and that's all I know. My job is to protect my daughter. I can't have you around her. Did you forget I never signed away my rights? Don't make me fight for custody, because I will fight for full custody. You threaten me with custody when you're the reason why you don't know your own daughter? I want to see what judge would give you shit with the history that you have. He balls up his fist, mad that she's talking back to him, and she looks down at his fist and smirks. Just like I thought. Same old play. Stay the fuck away from me and my daughter. So now he feels the need to remind her of who he is and remind her of who she is, which would be the scared, weak, timid girl that he knows when she was still with him. Mona and Zoe are out to lunch, and Mona is gossiping about another woman who left her husband, and now she has nothing, or she's broke or whatever. So Zoe asks her, so if your husband was cheating on you, you turn the other cheek? And she says, absolutely. I'm not risking my lifestyle for a side hoe. Oh, well, I guess him walking in here with a young piece of ass on his arm is okay then. And Mona jumps up because she knows the woman on his arm. It's AK. And it's just like, what's going on here? And all the husband got to say is, what are you doing here? You told me you and your sister were going shopping. So that makes it okay that you just walked into this restaurant with another woman on your arm? And AK tells her, you cheat on this man all the time. Let him have some fun. And a few days ago, when Mona came to see her in her hotel, she told her, you better not be trying to get with Canton, not Cam. Oh Lord, because he's mine. But you go sleep with her. But that's their loving best friendship, that they sleep with each other's man. And it's just like, anyway. So they get into a fight, and the husband tells Mona, "I want a divorce. Excuse me. I know you've been cheating on me since you got pregnant." And you think I don't know that Canton was the father because she got an abortion. She ain't had that baby. And AK gets upset about this and calls her a slut. But you walked in here with my husband. Like, are we forgetting this? How are you mad about anything? But anyway, the origin of their story is Mona was sleeping with Canton, like I said. But then Canton saw them together at the club, and, they had threesomes, and they both got pregnant at the same time. AK kept hers, but Mona got an abortion, and, because her husband, she couldn't explain that to her husband. So, and while she's telling the story, she's like, I thought she was my friend. And Zoe's like, how the hell did you think a shady bitch like that was your friend? What sense does that make? And what are you going to do about your husband wanting a divorce? And she's like, I don't know. My whole world just fell apart like damn near 20 seconds ago. Leave me alone. Oh, I forgot to mention, while they were fighting, AK pulled out a knife and sliced her arm. It wasn't a deep cut, but it's just the fact that she grabbed a knife off the table. So she was getting patched up while they were talking. And Olivia is texting Zoe, telling her, 911. And when she gets over there, Olivia tells her, you need to get pregnant now. You're waiting too long, and you're still not showing. You're supposed to be 3 months pregnant. Even with your flat stomach, it should be a little pudge or something going on. You still flat as a pancake over there, girl. And anyway, she thinks that someone is following her, so she wants out. She's like, anytime I leave, I just feel like there are eyes on me. And your husband is very powerful, and he knows powerful people in high places. So I'm not ready for that type of drama. I want to be done. And Zoe ain't paying her no attention. I think she feels like she is also untouchable. She like, and you keep taking my money. So no, you're going to continue to do what I tell you to do. So Damon texts Zoe telling her he has business to handle in Chicago, so he'll see her in a few days. But that business is actually him, Zoe, and Rain going on a little trip. Storm was supposed to get tickets to a Bubble Guppy's live show, but she wanted to pay for it by herself. And she waited too late, so the show sold out. So Damon paid for everything for them to go to Chicago and be front row and center. So while they're there, they're just getting closer and closer together. And, excuse me. He's basically telling her, like, she's not you, his wife. Like, I want to be with you. She's just not you. So hang on tight, but it's going to be me and you after a little while, basically, is where I'm going with this. So when he comes back home from Chicago, Damon is waiting for Zoe at home and tells her, let's get away. The jet is waiting. She's like trying to go pack. He's like, no, just come on, let's go. And when he sees her, when she walks in the house, it's like she has on all these clothes, designer clothes. She has a face full of makeup. But when they get on the plane, she's like, where's the staff? I wanted a facial while we fly. But he tells her, I want it to be just us. And he's like, I have a question for you. Have I given you everything you could ever desire? Besides material things, do I lie to you? Do I not share and I do mean everything that comes into my life with you? Do I not make you fucking matter in this world where you didn't before? Of course, it's a yes to them all, but why are you asking me such things? He shows her, he pulls out a folder, and there's pictures of her mom and her sister coming out of Olivia's house. And he asks her, what are they up to? And he's like, before you answer, I have been on this for a month now. They never go together, and they only go once a week. So again, what is your mom and sister up to? I honestly do not have answers for you. I don't know what they have been up to, nor do I know whose house that is. Bam, another folder, and it's her coming out that same house. I thought I made myself clear on the rules not to lie to me. It's not what you think. You don't understand. I don't understand what? That not only are you sneaky and up to no good, but that you're a liar? Let's cut through the bullshit and show what's behind door number 3. So there's another folder with photos, and it's the doctor. So it's like, correct me if I'm wrong, but is this not your doctor? So why are you, your mom, and your sister meeting with her every week? She doesn't want to answer, and she's like stammering. So he pulls her up and walks her to the emergency exit and opens the door and dangles her out of it. And, like, she's screaming and pleading. He's like, anytime you want to tell me the truth, I'll let you back in. Okay, I'm not pregnant. So he pulls her back in. I was like, what do you mean you're not pregnant? I was never pregnant. I panicked when I thought I was losing you to Storm. Sorry, I just didn't want you leaving me. So you lied about the one thing you knew I wanted most in this world? And it's just like, bitch, what is wrong with you? And he's like, I was there for the ultrasound. How did that happen? And she tells him about there being a DVD inside of a former patient who was pregnant. Did you honestly think I would be that fucking stupid to believe anything thrown at me? It worked before. And the last time she was pregnant, she has to tell him that she didn't have a miscarriage. She had an abortion. And he's like, why would you do something like that? It wasn't yours. And it's just like, oh, wait. So you were cheating on me. For how long? For a year. Every time you went to work. Who was it? Parker Buckley, Olivia's brother. So it's like, not only is Parker sleeping with both sisters, and he's connected to Storm. Like, everybody is connected to one another. And he's like, why didn't you just tell me that you didn't want to be with me anymore? I would have gladly given you a divorce. I never wanted this to happen. I never wanted to be with Parker. Please believe me. He can't give me what you can. You mean this lifestyle? Tags, bags, and cash unlimited? So he has one more folder, and he takes papers out and tells her to sign them. Sign on the dotted line and get the fuck out of my life. As we speak, all your shit is being taken out of my house and taken to the dumpster. No, please, we can work this out. And it's like, girl, what is there to work out on? You just don't want your shit to be thrown away. And while you walking around like you all big and bad, like the world is yours, you see how quickly it can be snatched away from you. And he's like, I said sign. This jet is on its way back to Detroit. And when we land, I never want to see you again. You never were going to leave Storm alone. I lost you from the moment you met her. Like, once again, is anybody home? You've been cheating on me for a year. And you had an abortion. And you just faked a pregnancy. So the fact that I was feeling somebody else that we were both having sex with, it ain't like she was hidden from you. You don't get to play victim in this situation, sis, at all. And she's still trying to have a boo-hoo moment. What is it about her that's making you willing to throw away 3 years? No, you did that a year ago. And when you killed a baby, that wasn't mine, by the way, but you killed a baby. Like, girl, you don't ask me nothing. Don't say shit to me. And, when they land, she's going to go her way and I'm going to go mine. He's drained and closed all her bank accounts. So it's like, you literally have nothing to fall back on, and you signed a prenup, so you get nothing. And you was cheating. So it's like, even if you did, like, girl, you ruined everything by thinking you were so much better than everybody. And now you back to zero. Storm is having a therapy session with Aboya's mom because, there's just been so much going on. And she has to get some things off of her chest. So she tells her about Play, how he's just popped back up. And also that because she's reliving some stuff. And she says, he didn't let up on the hits when I was pregnant. He didn't care if I lost our child or not. Who knows if he would have put his hands on her if I had stayed. I never want Rain to grow up questioning about her dad. But I just feel like it's in her best interest if he stays away from her. Which is true. And it's like, as a parent, you have to do what you feel like is best for your child. And no one is going to fault you for keeping your child away from an abuser. You don't know what he would have did. Like, okay, maybe he would have never hit her, but he was still hitting you. So that's still not a good environment for the child. He's not a good person. So she's off Damon because it's been 8 years. Good Lord, 8 days since they came back from Chicago, and she hasn't heard anything from him. So she's going on a date, and she don't want to hear nothing about Damon. And while she's on the date, he is, it annoys me. Because when she's on the date with the guy, he's being very forward. She orders a bottle of wine, and he's like, oh, you must be trying to bust it open for me tonight. And it's like, fam, if you that damn cheap that you can't pay for this bottle of wine, I'll pay for it myself, and you still ain't get no pussy, so now what? But anyway, at some point, she looks down because they're upstairs, and the restaurant is clearing out. So she asks him, what time does this place close? He's like, 10 o'clock. And it's only 8. So she's like, everyone is leaving. Then 4 guys in black suits start walking in their direction. They call Storm out by name and tell her, man, we need you to come with us. Is something wrong? Everything is fine. We were instructed to clear out this restaurant and get you to leave with us. Who would do that? Damon Hayes. And she says, oh, I see. Well, go back and tell your damn boss that I am a grown woman. I don't appreciate him sending you all in here, busting up my date and being dramatic. Tell him that he dropped out of my life for 8 damn days and I am done with him. Okay, tell him that. And it's like, girl, no, nobody is relaying that message for you. What are you talking about? And they basically ignored all of what she said and said, Mr. Hayes said you might not comply, and that if such a thing happens, you need to know that it's his life, or you can get up and come with us peacefully. Your choice. But I should tell you, Mr. Hayes said you're coming with us either way. So you can get this nigga killed, or you can just get up. But either way, it's like you're getting up. So you can watch him die before you get up, or you could just get up. And while she's in the car, she texts Aboya thinking that she told on her. And Aboya sends her back laughing emojis. Like, girl, I ain't tell nobody nothing. You should have known that man was waiting on you. Or, had eyes on you. When she gets to his house, this nigga sitting at the piano playing it, with no problems. And she's like, really? You're this dramatic? I hope you know your men tonight hurt an innocent guy. He like, keep talking to me about that nigga and see what happened. This is like the Thug series all over again. Like with the emergency exit and it's just casually playing the piano and just like, talk about another man in my presence again. Do it. I dare you. But anyway, she's like, we're not doing this. You're married. And he was like, was married. I know you're mad at me because I haven't been around, but I was busy getting this process pushed and I had to get my mental in order. It's like, I'm not mad that I'm divorced, but it's more so about things that I found out surrounding me getting this divorce. But anyway, he tells her, I love you. I'm in love with you. And she returns the sentiment and they're just all lovey-dovey. And they have a hug. It's like they're finally hug. Finally, they're together without all the other BS. And so, they have sex and makeup. And during the middle of the night, Storm wakes up because she hears talking from coming downstairs. So she gets up and goes to the door and she hears yelling. And Damon tells his dad, I don't give a fuck. That bitch is dirty, conniving, and a fucking snake. So you coming over here like I am not a grown-ass man speaking on Zoe's behalf speak volumes about you. And he tells him, you're not thinking clearly. Zoe family has made us a lot of money with their connections. She looks good on a man of your caliber's arm. You want to throw it away because of a mistake? And for a low-income bitch? Who the fuck raised you? And Damon tells him, I love you and Mom and will forever be grateful for the blessings that you guys have gave us. But if you call Storm a bitch one more time, I will forget who you are. And his dad retort is, I will never accept her as my daughter-in-law. And anyway, then Damon gets a phone call and he's been looking for someone, but they can't find him. And he says, Canton said he found out his street name is Play. So he might not go by Parker. Instead, he'll be going by Play. Find him and let me know when you do. And when he get back to the bedroom, Storm is, shaking up a little bit and she's crying. And he's like, what's going on? Did you hear what my dad said? Like, don't worry about that. And she asks him, how do you know Play? What does he have to do with Zoe? And Damon is like, how do you know who that is? And she says, he's Rain's father. Come again? Today is the day that Aboya is going to tell Canton that she is now 12 weeks pregnant. It's also the day that she is going shopping with Cameron. Like they're just having a mommy and daughter date. And while they're at the mall, Cameron asks her officially, if I wanted to call you mommy, could I? I want a mommy so bad and I want you to be my mommy. Because it's like, yeah, she slipped mommy in there a few times, but she doesn't directly call Aboya mommy. Excuse me. So for a minute, she doesn't say anything. And Cameron, is crying. She's like, I can't call you mommy, can I? And she's like, of course you can. I would be honored if you called me mommy. I didn't mean to take so long to answer. I was just thinking of all the fun we were going to have at the sleepover. So, it ends on a high note. She's doing good. She's like, about to tell my man we about to have a baby. And then my little baby girl over here wants to call me mommy. Like our family lit. And then 2 days later, Storm is coming to her parents' house because she's been hiding there. And, it's just like, wait a minute, what's going on? And, she's been crying. She got on Facebook because she hasn't been on there for a while. And she sees that AK sent her a friend request. And she's thinking that she just wants to lurk on her page. So Aboya accepts. And she goes to her page and sees all of the pictures of her being in his house, of her being around Cameron, and, it's just like, he lied to me. I don't care what the reason was. He lied to me. He told me he hadn't talked to her. He hadn't seen her. And look at this. And she's like, what is wrong with me? This is the same Raymond situation all over again. But it's like, it's not though. She keeps saying that. And it's like, the circumstances are different. And so she plans on getting an abortion again. Because it's just like, I can't keep this baby. I can't be tied to him forever. So, and I get why she got the first abortion. Because that's the same thing. It's like, if I get rid of this baby, I don't have to have contact with you after this. Like, you could just get out of my life. And it's like, and she's torn up. Because it's like, Cameron just asked if she could call me mommy. And now I got to break up with this nigga. Like, are you serious? And, so she goes to her appointment, but before it can even get started, because, they leave you to get undressed into the gown, she changes her mind. She's like, I can't keep doing this because of a man. I have enough support, money, like everything on my own to support my baby. I don't have to do this. And then there's yelling, Aboya, where the fuck are you? And it's Canton. It's just like, nigga, how the hell did he find out where she was? But one of the nurses says, sir, please, we're going to call the police. please sit down. And he's like, please be my guest. They all in the waiting room. Now get out my way. So he's coming through, banging all the doors open, saying, you know, where are you? And when he finds her, he says, what the fuck are you doing here? And the story is to be continued. So I hope to see you guys back tomorrow for part 3 and the finale of His Gangsta Love Saved Me. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Peace and blessings, my beautiful people.